Inside Story Uganda. Real source of political updates.
Nenga nsiria chakulo. Naye enjala yannuma ekiro n'enfuluma. Nsanga omwana. 81. Bagenda okuba olubiri. Omusene yattu. Bagenda okuba olubiri. Omwana nangandi Mirundi obeera wano nti tugenda kuba lubiri dduka. Tugenda kuba lubiri. Mwiche buloko omuntu awonamu abantu aba.
Babiri.
Tewali muntu yali kabuusi yawona. Abajasi bobo tebazinga kebitundu ebyo byonna. Ne bagenda ne mudwaliro lyetu baganda bakuba omuzungu. Ne bajja n'abantu ku kipa bonna nga baga nti bakayira. Bakayira omuzinga yagusimbawa ku kifaananyi ky'erubaga. Obote yagamba oyita ojoko gendo yono n'ebintu byonna n'erubaga tokwata ku kifaananyi ekyo kyakabi. Kyagoba muteesa wana.
Okay.
Ekyo kifaananyi kyabikira Maria ekiri erubaga.
Ekyabikira.
Nekiwandika kakatabo.
Ekitunudde.
Ekyo mulokole yakira asidi naziba amaaso.
Omulokole yakira asidi.
Nakumuna agamba aberubaga.
Kye kyamubagula.
Omuzungu ankubye oluyi. Omukazi omuzungu. Ekyo mukita kyakuza. Kitunudde mutwe kobe mwennyini kabaka tasulamu.
Kirimu ki?
Bagenda okukwata ekibisopo wa Kampala.
Kiwanuka.
Ne batamusanga yo ne bakwata Sebayiga. Ne bakibaleetera. Dungu yali abaganye nti mukisimba woba n'ekintu kikambwe. Ne bakikweka mwekerezi enkadde rubaga n'ekwata omuliro.
Kirimu ki?
Bakijjalo mabiri bibiri. Balaba omupiira gwe Brazil.
Ngumanyi kiri eri ekya Maria kye balaga bwe kiti.
Anti ekereziya yajja mu Latin America ne mu Africa yasingirwa Bikira Maria Musambwa.
Bikira Maria
ekye Brazil kyale
wali Musambwa.
Ekye Brazil kyalemera omubbi.
Tamale ngatta bulungi sibitegeera Omusambwa ne Bikira bikwataganira wa.
Anti ye muntu ali mu ggulu.
Ye Bikira ali wa ggulu.
Ekitibwe ekikole Bikira Maria alinya mu ggulu. Bikira Maria tumusanyukira alabira n'abaana.
Atono gwe basimba wano.
Ekibeyo yalabikirayo.
Sokolinde.
Nabagandi bananga abana bangu musayi gugenda kutwala eggwanga tulaba abakatuliki balaga kibeyo e Rwanda ate. Era ne kadinali omuto wa myaka 36 papa gwe yalonze bwe Kigali. Yes. Kati nze ne bakyala bange bennyini. Banna balabako ne babula ate. Benina kakati gwe imagine. Ono mutani wange gwe bakubye
Sokolinde. Sinatuuka waawo.
Mama wa Sereb.
Mutabaniwo. Yagenze n'akwanayo ensusuuti endala. Emali yayina yamubaludde.
Omukazi yamukubye yamukubye kufulu.
Omukazi yamukubye buba.
Ne muyita. Namuyise mwenche yangambye.
Yagambye eki.
Yange daddy lekera okumanyira. Nze ndi Sereb. Ndi muto. Ndi musajja munyirivu. Feba Sereb. Tukola pick and play.
Sokoli.
Njagala umvireko ddala nga Gasumba bwe yava ku muwala we. Ndi musajja mukulu. Nemuyitira banne. Nemukaka kati mumanyi ono. Yawasiza abakazi babiri mu nnaku bbiri.
Nanti era nabiwulidde.
Yagambye. Mbu yaleese Omunyarwanda omukapa. Ate n'alabayo Omunyarwanda omusaba. Naye n'agenda.
Sokoli.
Anti mwe temukimanyi. Ono omusajja tebamuyita Lwasa.
Bamuyitani.
Lwasa Mpijja. Abente be baweesi ba Kabaka.
Lwasa Mpijja. Empijja kyeki
ge mayinja amagumu.
Kati
Lwasa Mpijja. Linnya lyante.
Lwasa Mpijja.
Bano babayita ba Lwasa. Lwasa. Kumareze heyandi deni.
Awasa buli wamu.
Oyo tumuyita
Lwasa.
Lwasa. Kakati nze bwe nayise.
Kati oli Lwasa.
Yangambye ekirungi kyoyina. Oyina batabani bo bangi ba diplomats. Kati nze nkyali Serebu n'ensonyiwa. Kakati ne mugandi kakati ngokolire enti yabadde ne banne.
Nga muli mu family meeting.
Aba ku mikwano gye nabayise naye Kasoko teyabadde mwera ngenda gamba Kasoko ndi baba mba ndamu mutaasa baja kufuna yamu
abakazi bamukuba
kufuna yamu bembazi
ajakufanayo omulugwala
anti ye yagambye ye wa pick and play ye Serebu ze siri Serebu
pick and play
ye wayagalira wagobera
bwakwanono bwamugoba bwafunono bwagoba ye Serebu
yamukubye ekufulu mu nyina n'abologa bamukubira nyina ekiro saamukaga ndi mutani wo bamwasa omuntu bamwasiza nze naseka busesi
ko mama we awo winja
anti yazala serebu kati nze kyenakoze kyaddeeki
ekiruwa
tekasa natudde ne banne nangamba yeserebu yajja kwongera mu maaso ngalo
n'ebikolwa bye yeruwasa
ono yeruwasa erinnya ono gwe muzannya naye
abazannya buli kiseera
oyo omusajja wanjawulo nnyo n'abayimbi abazannya n'abakazi bano ne beeyambula ne badda mbulire does it end there abakazi abo abayimbi abakola fake weddings when you make a fake something it becomes
part of you
okay. Marriage tebagibala eno enkola ya taxi ajivamu njana dayo waseruga akabina ko twala kati abo mulimu so you must analyze this type of people
kati wafunye celeb
kakati nze kyenakoze naguze ebitiyo bina ebitiyo bina n'enkumbi nnya
ate za
kuziika ono yamukubya kufuru wajja kuba yamukubya embazzi mu mutwe nze ntwale mayiti pick up yange weeri eya mayiti naguze ebitiyo bina n'enkumbi bbiri kasaya ngambi tiye tagenda kukyusa kumpisa
nateze bwe nakifunye ndalowoozeza muti agezaako kukopa gwangamba obeera n'abakazi bangi neŋŋamba oba akaze kawaka akaze kalabika kali awo
nange kitange
nawe toli mwangu mbakazi
nange omukazi yali ankubye ettafaali mu kati kitange nampita nangamba nti laba omusiru olwo osuze ebweru okeera kudda waka omusajja tasula bweru kitange yangamba wali olabye mirundi yalina abakazi basatu ku kyalo amaka 3 naye ngaasula mu mainiwa command post
jasula
kusanga wuwo kitange nangamba nti bwoba wasuzeeyo omala ennaku nnya nga tonnalabika ono obusungu nakunoonya ne muggwanika nakunoonya naye boddayo kumaca kubetta paali ono ye yagenze ono yagenze ne gwe yasanze ku pate nabalabye nga yagabula
wabalabye
ngamba ono
eriso ly'omukulu ewadduka
naye nze munnange kasani nayo ba gentleman oyo yeserebu yangambye ndekera ddala give my freedom Gasumba has given freedom to his daughter bwe bakubira essimu nvaako zamwe serebu kati nengula ebitiyo byange bina n'enkumbi 2 kwangu y'amaziisi kubanga obona yamukubye kufulu agenda kufunayo
serebu nga tava mbizibu bano bamukuba
mwamuwanika kasuku yamuta
nanti kasita yajja kweni UP
kale nza temufaako kati awo jjajjawe namulekedde jjajjawe n'ennyina mpozi waliwo ne taata waabwe gwe batya omusika wa taata yabayita ye diplomati naye nze kasa yaŋŋambi ndekera eddembe lyange gwe toli serebu nze ndi serebu yeye serebu ye serebu muto musajja munyirivu
gwasoose mu bwasi
yagambye ye serebu tikakati yange gwe tomanyi serebu kolanga Gasumba yalekera omwana we eddembe lye bamukubira essimu yagamba mukulu nange kyoba okola nga tebadde weebali ate namuzeemu nze nagenze mu hardware nengula ebitiyo byange bina n'enkumbi zange nnya ziri ku stand nze nazanya akabadi kange
wazanye kabadi mu State House
yes nembalaga omuntu wayeeyisa kubanga wabaddewo strategy nti prior tumuhozeze function balumbe Kalamoja Commander Land Forces Kalamoja is peaceful Bobby Wine najja mu kibuga bamukube tear gas to overshadow the function tekyali mawulire gonna nakolera bwerere ne baleeta omukazi nti abasajja bamukutte nembaga nti tewali mukazi mukulu asobola kwogera kulayije namukwata naye era mawulire tekirimu once they suffer setback mawulire tekibeeramu ba amawulire gaabwe mukozesa ina mawulire nga kitaawe
ne birthday abadde successful
yes
he successful
yes kankubulire ane mukozi namwagadde nnyo amanyi mikwano gye ku myaka luli gundi pasa Bugingo bwe yajja bamukuba bo balowooza nti radio ya Bugingo ne TV ye ya mukozi
era bwe tuwulira
yes
si kituufu
kakandi baga to discredit ono Bugingo kwolo bagamba let us create a diversion abantu balime kwogera ku myaka gya kuba you have a purpose in political science. Every decision, every noise, every sound has a purpose.
Okay.
It's purposeful. Muhozo okukola birthday night abantu. It has a purpose, not a birthday.
Timabadde mutongoza presidential bid, si birthday. Duli baba kuba
Bugingo. Abantu bano ne badda ku Bugingo. Kirina ekitogerwako.
Kirina ekifa.
Abo babi ngabo bulidde bwogera. Nchone kesesa. Mukozi bwana batakafuta kafuddeeko. Mwefe. Ndi musajja wa myaka 65. Nefe ekituyambye okula bugero. Ndijeja fe yatunyumiza n'atugamba. Tikapa ya emesi yaliko bwana bwayo mu Kenya. Negende bonoonyeza emmere. Kakati obwana kapa neerwayo. Manye emesi neerwayo. Obwana enjala neebuluma. Ne buva mu Kenya. Ne bulaba abasajja babiri. Seggwanga ne kapa. Noga nti ono ayogera obulungi ono ayinza tutubulira mami gye yalaze sajja nga ayogera bulungi kati buba bugenda okubuuza kapa ayogera obulungi mami gye yalaze Seggwanga nekukolima ne budduka ne buddayo mu Kenya mama wabo yakomawo nebuga nti mami tulebye abasajja babiri omu ayogera bulungi naye ekisajja kitukanze kigenze ne kiboggola ne tudduka emmese yagamba obwana bwayo nti oyo lwakuboggola oyo naye ate ne bazzukulu be baba bafudde yemu ku nnyama gye mbaleetera naye ayogera obulungi oyo akalenzi kano nga Museveni tannakeetikkula akalenzi ako kawulidde bye kamwogerera
katandikira.
Understand the situation. You cannot simply let everybody come around to tell you what to do. There are particular things that we need to work on as a team, and there are particular things we need to do individually. So, Audrey, if you choose that this is going to be an individual initiative, please let it happen. Do it your own way. Fulfill your test. You simply cannot come and, think that you're going to rely on other people to do what you're basically supposed to do. So there are certain things I'm looking at, and I'm simply telling you that whatever happens, just make sure that you know exactly what you're going to do. Just make sure that you are in full control of yourself, your emotion, your composure. Otherwise, you may be doomed to fail for no reason. So let us reorganize ourselves and see how basically we can move. But of all things, the priority should be you. It starts with you, and therefore it must end with you. So simply think about that.
Well, I was still trying to digest and see how the situation analysis brings the report. We move through a set of measurements, and in those measurements, we try to see basically those things that do a lot to our lives. And now currently, look at this young man already in Kigali. I know he's going to be coming back with a lot of things, but prior to that, they didn't know exactly what took place before he was pushed to Kigali. No, really, I think I should be having a hint. And in that hint, I believe there was a meeting. Because I believe Mosai had to react to the retirement room, actually to the retirement explosion, which this man did. I think it brought a lot of upheavals, that he needed to be sent to PK to think about so many things. And I believe something is going to happen right there to make sure that at least his mind is revised and he could have a fundamentally, properly, and thinking mind. So that is what I think. No, really, beyond that, Now let me tell you exactly what took place. You see, the Kahindo Tafiris were around. Zempija, the Minister of Defense, was also around. They summoned a number of people. And you know, Muzei's anger is rooted from the fact that at the level of a Lieutenant General, the approach would be very different. At least by standard UPDF law. At that rank, somebody can only request to retire at 60 years. Not 49, not 48, not even 50. Meaning, it would require him a decade and 3 more years if he's to retire. Now, you are setting a bad example because as a commander for land forces, it is mind-boggling, very, very much so, mind-boggling, to see a man of his caliber come out on Twitter to make those things, those, fierce sentiments. It doesn't make sense at all. Now, putting all that together, they had to put him in shape. And that's exactly what I used to tell Muzei, that really, the person you are talking about, you are trying to push, is not ready. He's not ready at all. When you look at the measurements of his mental psyche, it's not adding up very well. You need a school that can train him. And actually, Muzei had this gun. His pistol was just on the table when he was addressing. And for those who know him, that is a sign that he's extremely angry. And they told him, you know, you are supposed, maybe we organize and take this man to the court martial. But again, the political implications would be very bad. Looking at people of Noop who are so much flabbergasted by a lot of poko. I believe they would turn it around that it is some game Museveni is playing. But the man was totally annoyed. And of course, different people had to come in to talk to Muzei to dilute his venom. And they told the boy to apologize. You see, when you still have a boyish mind, very childish, there are things you believe. Because when I think Sempija, who was the honorary civilian in the meeting, asked him now, if you declare your retirement, just like that, what implication does it give to people like Sajusa, who have sought retirement for the last decade, and they are within the retirement age? But UPDF insists, we still need you here. How about you? Want to retire before even half a decade, half a century? And you're senior army officer, not just that the real commander of the UPDF, because the land forces is the real strength of the army. So what really would transpire out of that is a question for another time. Really, that sounds very, very ambiguous and very annoying. You see, when you look at him, actually, he has a problem, and that problem of, show off and all of that. No, actually, Muzei was telling him, if you have nothing to say, avoid talking about my army. Last time we talked about the Tigray. Recently we were talking about Russia, you supporting Russia. You're creating a hate for my people from the West. I have more friends from the West than from the East. What kind of image are you creating for me? And in case you become politically fertile, what is your future? Who are your allies? Today you're talking about the Tigray. Tomorrow you are talking about the Egyptians. The next time you are talking about Russia. I mean, what kind of image are you trying to create for us? Such questions. Exactly, that is what I was talking about. You see, I would call it a catastrophic mental disorder.
if you listen critically how this man behaves, there are particular things that need to be fixed. And I personally have tried to do my level best to see that at least everything is put in order. But I think the company he moves with, secondly, the people who are willing to tell him that that is wrong and that is correct, they are missing. And actually, even when they were there, is he willing to listen? Is he willing to adjust? Those are some of the other problems that we are faced with. Now, if he becomes a political player in this country, and this organizing military is going to create cohesion in the military, getting divided up, bringing up mixed opinions, and creating a very great danger for the country. Through the military, it is really very dangerous. And we normally talk about it in normal terms. That's why immediately after that incident, I was like, now, let us not put this ahead, because everybody's ears have been risen like a deer. So we had to think about a better option. The tweet was brought down and tried to edit the statement with the video. But in the 8 years, but even then the 8 years are not determined by you. The high command has to decide before you take effect of that. So the whole thing is hocus pocus, just meaningless talk. That could create a lot of problems to the country, the problems to the regime, problems within the military, creating a mutiny, creating a division, a divisiveness, and things of the like. Really, it is not good at all.
You see, such a thing happens, and for so many reasons. But I have to tell you that we have a very, very serious problem. A very serious problem. When you look at what really happened in that meeting, it's telling us we have a serious problem in the country. We're having several problems happening left and right. I mean, it's like we're trying to jump out of torture. Then we're having political madness. Then from there, the first families fighting one another. Then we have an economic and a financial downfall. I mean, the whole country is a mix-up of problems. The parliament is sick, bedridden, and things of the like. So the whole thing is a mixture of so much. Anyhow, we have other things to handle. So let us try to look at how we are going to maneuver through all the waves from everywhere. At least Tamale we met and we had a brief talk. I really appreciate. It would not have been without, your input. That phone call you gave me, it guided me a lot. Now I think of a reconciliation plan, especially with the colleagues in Tanzania, colleagues in Kenya, colleagues in Zambia, Malawi, Mozambique. So let's just start to reorganize ourselves. But please, when I need your help, please come in. I'm not here to come and create turbulences between you and the first son. It is all about what we can do together, how we can manage the situations, how we can support each other. So the likes of Tamale, Mirundi, who are there just to fight till drop dead. But we are going to persevere and see how to move. In the case of anything that ever happens, I think we can handle and we let go what we cannot control. Otherwise, we cannot be the alphas and the omegas of this country. To want to cross-examine the situations that, really come around in a sequence of events. So the rest can be handled, that one I'm very sure. So let us try to work together. Very soon we are going to make it.
No, I'm really very grateful. For me, I have no problem whatsoever. And as an adult with grandchildren, by the way, there are certain things I'm looking at, and invoking in some sense, particularly me personally, I would support Russia. For the West has done worse crimes during war than any other country, especially the United States has done more crimes, war crimes, than any other country in the world. Not even Germany during Hitler's time. But here we are, tagging Putin as a war criminal, things of the like. Anyway, I just have the right to air out my opinion, but I don't have the powers to change anything. All I can do is to talk and talk.
That is okay. So, let us try to see what we can do. You know what?
We're looking at it literally. We simply have to understand the situation.